So this is example 3B. So you're asked to find the resultant force when you have a 300-pound force making an angle of 35 degrees and a 125-pound force making an angle of 85 degrees. Okay, so go ahead and write down the angle if you haven't yet. I'm going to type it to be a little bit faster. So we get 300 cosine of 35, comma, 300 sine of 35. So that's our first vector. Okay, and do make sure it's in those brackets. They look a little weird typed. Okay, and then our second vector that we're adding to this one is 125 times cosine of 85, comma, 125 times sine of 85. Okay, once you add them together, because that's what you're doing here, once you add them together, you should have your x component as both parts and your y component as both parts. So that's the x, and then the y except of course with signs. All right, I'm going to make that a little bit smaller so it fits on one line. 25. Okay, so there it is. That's your resultant vector. Of course, we haven't calculated that out on the calculator, but we can, and then we're going to find the direction and magnitude of that force. Okay, so on the calculator then, I've done all those calculations, and here they are. So the first, that's the x component. Now we have the y component. Then to find the angle, we're going to do tangent inverse of the y divided by the x, and we get an angle of 49 degrees. And then the magnitude of the resultant force, or the resultant vector, square root of the x component squared plus the y component squared, and we get 392.21. So that's going to be your final answer. So I'm putting 49 degrees, 49 degrees for theta, and I'm putting a magnitude of 392.2 pounds. So that's our final answer. Okay.